Guys, this is just a short video to explain the reasons why we use complementary colors to darken a particular hue or to create a shade of a particular hue. Using black straight out of the tube, this is synthetic black. That results in is the color, the shade turning dead. Because black is the lack of color, right? So we add black in to create a darker shade. It pulls the color out of your color and makes it flat and dead. Whereas the complementary color gives it a certain amount of life, and because you're adding color to color rather than taking color away using straight black out of the tube. And this is the theory behind it. So the idea is that if you were to mix all three primary colors together, you should end up with black. And now in the case of physical paint, you get close to black. You never get fully black, but you get to kind of like a dark gray, depending on what the exact hue of your three primary colors is. So here's the thing. If I want to if I start with yellow here, and I want my yellow I want a darker shade of yellow, I could just go in and pick up some of this, the equivalent of black, and it would darken my yellow, right? So I could go ahead and get my darker version of the yellow by mixing a bit of blue and a bit of red in with it. But the shortcut is, instead of getting two colors out and trying to get that darker value, if you just pull out, if you have in your tube, or if you've already mixed up some purple, right? Which is the opposite color on the color wheel. So you take your purple and you pull some of your purple in, and you already achieve that same darker shade of yellow, right? So by taking my complementary is actually the mixture of the other two primary colors. Sorry, it's out of there. My complementary is the mixture of these two, right? So I'm able to darken my color by using the color across from it on the color wheel. The same is true for red. Right, so I want to darken my red. I could go in again and mix up a yellow and a blue, which is the middle one here, and use that to darken my red. But I might as well, if I have it available, just go straight in, and with my tube, if I've got a green in my tube, which is the mixture of these up here, and just grab the green and mix that in with my red, I achieve the same thing, right? So again, the complementary is a great way to darken a color, and because it actually is a combination of your three primary colors, the complementary there. Sorry, it keeps moving out of the screen. All right, so here's the thing. Now, the two things that complementary colors do is they darken a color, but they also tone down the saturation. So these primary colors are straight out of the tube and they're super bright, right? And they're often, in real life, things don't look like that, because in real life, colors are much more toned down. They're less saturated. And so one way to tone down the brightness, the intensity, or the intensity of that color is to add just a little bit of the complementary color in, and it looks much more natural. Here I'm just going to give an example of using I mixed up this kind of a violet red here, and how do we create three-dimensional forms with color? So this is the color of the cube that I've got a kind of this violet red cube. I'm going to turn into a three-dimensional image. And so this is if this was the original color, what would be called local color or base color, say if light was coming in from this direction, okay, so the front of that would be pretty much this color that I've mixed up. Okay, so now we're going to be creating a three-dimensional shape using by creating using three different colors. One is your basic color, okay, and then I want to now go dark, one step darker, because this is in shade, right? This will be the shadow there, right? And I'm going to create a lighter version for the top there. So for my darker, the complementary of red is green. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of green here, put it on my palette, and mix in that green. And that green is going to give me a nice darker version of my red, or my kind of violet red here. All right, so that's maybe, and you can decide based on what you're seeing in terms of the cube, like how dark is it actually. You've got your darker version of that reddish violet, okay, because of using the complementary. And this is more red than violet, which is why I'm using the green, okay. And now to go lighter, here's an interesting thing, is when you're mixing in, if you were to just take white and add that in, what typically happens is you get a lighter version of your base color, but it's also often a flatter version. It doesn't have a lot of life in it again. It's just lighter and it feels kind of flat. Now in real life, when light bounces off something and creates a highlight, the actual color doesn't only get lighter, but it gets brighter. And this is missing the brightness. It has the lightness, but it's missing the brightness. And to get brightness to a highlight, what you need to do is, if you go back to the color wheel, is as you can see, these colors down here are darker, and these colors up here towards the yellow are lighter, right? So if you're starting with kind of this reddish purple here that I've started with, when I want to make my highlight, I'm going to not just add white, but I'm going to add the next color up on the color wheel towards the lighter version part of the wheel. The idea is I'm adding another color. I'm not going to add a darker color because I'm wanting it to go lighter, but I'm adding another color to give it a little bit more intensity, brightness. So up one color step up would be red or even orange. So let me let me add the red. If I can, there's my red. Okay, so let me put a bit of red on the side here. And so here's my lighter version, but it's flat. I'm going to add a little bit of red in there to give it more of a brightness. Okay. And so with that, I'm going to go up here and create that top kind of highlighted area. So here we have a cube that is made up of, that is basically a reddish brown or reddish violet cube, and I've mixed up the shades and the highlights using that same base color. And the way I got darker was by using the complementary. The way I got lighter was by using white, plus a little bit of the color that's next up on the color wheel. You don't always have to do that, but you'll find that in both of these cases, your colors aren't as flat as they would be if I had used just white for my highlight and just black for my shadow. So this is a much more vibrant image because of the use of complementary and because of the use of not just white to highlight, but the next color, using the lighter color, the next color up on the color wheel. I hope that was helpful.